Today, we're going to be talking about discount codes and a great new feature that Shopify has released, which allows you now to generate and share QR codes for the discount codes that you create. And the first cool thing I'm going to say is that these codes can be generated automatically. There's not too much that you need to do. I will show you how, if you want to generate this code manually, you can, but you really don't need to do it because Shopify is going to create it for you automatically. So what you're going to do is go to the discount area inside of your Shopify store, and you'll see any existing discount that you may have. So first off, let's figure out a couple boundaries around how this actually works. In order to get these QR codes, you're going to have one of these discounts that apply a code. You'll notice that some of your discounts that you've probably created are of the automatic discount type. And those are the kind of discounts that just get applied automatically to the shopping cart. Obviously, because of the fact that it gets applied automatically, there's no need to send a code to somebody, or somebody doesn't need to enter a code. It just happens automatically. So you're not going to get QR codes for anything that's of this type, any kind of automatic type. You're only going to be able to create and get discounts for anything that has an actual code attached to it. So let's click on the first one, for example. So I have this code that I've created, and I've called the code donation. And so if I click on it, you can see that one would have to enter the word donation, and then they can get a discount on any of the products in these particular collections. And so if I look at some of my other discounts that I have, right, I've got this one, for example, that says, hey, Spring 50. So if you enter Spring 50 into the checkout, you can receive the discount. And so up until now, you've had to say, hey, customer, here's this code, go enter this code. But the really cool new feature that exists is right here. It's super simple. You just click where it says promote, and you'll now see that it says get a shareable link. So if we click onto this get a shareable link, Shopify's done all the hard work for you here. You can see that a link has been created and a QR code has been created for that link. So if you have a Shopify POS instance and you want to be able to scan in a code, this is the QR code that you're going to use for this specific discount. If you want to put a link in an email, this is the link that you would put in an email and the link that you would send to somebody. And all you would have to do is just copy it, right? Let's hit copy right now. I'm going to copy this link, put it in an email, and then somebody could apply it to their store. We'll come back in a second here and talk about this marketing campaign, but let's see how this works, right? I'm going to copy this link out here by using this little copy screen that's right here, and we're going to copy it. So you see that it's going to say that it's copying the discount code by clicking this thing here. I'm going to close this out, and then I'm going to jump to the front end of my store. So if I'm normally putting something into the cart, right, I'm going to take this hat, let's say, for example, I'm going to add it to my shopping cart, and then I'm going to go to checkout. In the past, what you would have to have done is given them the discount code that goes here. Now you can see I already have another automatic discount. So like I mentioned earlier, I don't need to give somebody a code or anything for them. This just automatically pops in. But if somebody wanted to apply this other code, they would have to put it into this box. And you'd have to put it into an email, and they would have to copy and paste it. So now what happens is that this URL, let's go back here so you can see it one more time, right? This URL that we copied, this link, all somebody has to do is click on this link to apply it to their cart. So, and this could happen at any time. I mean, I just happened to be in the checkout, but let's say you weren't in the checkout. Let's just say somebody just happens to be on your store and they happen to go here to this link. They copy it in. Actually, let's see if we copied this here. Copy the discount code. We're going to go here. We're going to paste and go with this link. And you'll see that the code gets pasted in. Now, you don't really see anything happening, right? So it's a little bit like, did I actually paste something in or not? But when I go back to my shopping cart, right? I'm going to go back to my shopping cart. I'm going to go to the checkout. And so now that Spring 50 discount you can see has been applied because the link applied it automatically for you. And so I'm going to delete it just so you guys can see that again. So let's do that again. Let's go to this link. I'm going to paste and go that link that I put in again, and you'll see it pops it, sends it back to the store. And now when I click on my checkout, you can see Spring 50 has been applied because that's the code that's part of that link. So going back to the discount area, you can see here, Spring 50 is the code that's being used. So it's really that simple. All you have to do now is just give somebody this link and it automatically can be applied to the store, and it's automatically going to send them into your store from that link. If you've got a Shopify point of sale system, you just use the Shopify point of sale system here, or you would scan this into the Shopify POS. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward, right? There's not a lot necessarily to it. Now, one thing you may notice though is when I applied that code, it took the person to the home page. So that might be a little bit confusing. So one other cool feature I want to show people, and this is something you're going to have to do manually, is that you can automatically set a redirect. So when you copy this code here, right, if I go to this promotion and I say, give me this shareable link, and it creates this link here, when somebody puts this link or clicks on this link or puts it into their address bar like we did, it's going to send them by default to the home page. If you want to have a little extra control over that, and I'm showing you here this inside of the Shopify help area, you can actually add this extra little bit here at the end to redirect them to some other page. So you would have to build this link. Unfortunately, Shopify doesn't build this for you, but all you have to add is just this little bit here. You add this little question mark here, right? This creates what's called the query, and then you put in the word redirect equals, and then just the path to wherever you want it to be. And it's exactly how this shows it here. So this path could be a path to a product, it could be a path to a page, it doesn't matter. So all you have to do is just put it right after this equals, just put in the path, and it's the relative path. You don't have to put in your full URL or anything, just that relative path to wherever you want them to go. So that way, after they enter the code, they would go to that page. So you would take, again, you just take this code that exists here for whatever one that you want to use, and then you add this extra little bit here with wherever you want them to go. So after they enter the code, they're redirected to that page. So that's definitely a nice, handy little feature to have. So let's take a look at another code again, just so we can see that, right? So this was the Spring 51, right? I've got this other one here, this 15% discount one. Let's go ahead and click on that one. And again, same deal. If I wanted to get a shareable link for that one, I could click on it. I've got this shareable link that exists here. I can copy this discount code. And if I go back to my point of sale store, we're going to go into here. We're going to paste and go with that new one into the system there, paste it. And you can see I don't have a redirect, so it always sends it back to the home page. And if I click back into my cart, we should see that that one has been applied. Now, depending upon what your discount codes are, either it's going to say, well, hey, I can't apply it because there's no relevant products or no relevant items, or it's possible it could stack the codes. And so that rule still exists. So if your rules and your discount codes say, hey, I can combine it with other discounts, or I can utilize it with other discount codes, that would still be applicable. And in this particular case, this extra code that I used, isn't giving you any additional discounts, so it's not showing up. So you will have to understand what the logic is behind your discount codes to make it work. Like this one is only certain products, this one is only certain products. So you will have to figure it out. But Shopify does allow you to stack the different discount codes so they could be applied together, and this shareable link would absolutely do the exact same thing. Okay, again, if you have any questions about that, let me know. Please feel free to put those in the Q&A box there at the bottom of the screen. So let's go back to one of the discounts that we've got here. And again, you just go to this promote, you just go to get shareable link, and this is how you get the link. Put this in your email, scan this inside of your Shopify POS. One area I want to show you here, though, is this marketing campaigns. Now, we have done a previous OT session on that. If you want to look back at our archives, it should be online, or look back at one of our previous videos. But Shopify allows you to create marketing campaigns. And inside of those marketing campaigns, you can put in discounts. And so if you want to be able to track how many people are using those discounts or clicking on those discounts, you're going to have what are called UTM parameters. So if I had an active campaign where I wanted to use this discount code, you could then just select that marketing campaign from this list and it will add the UTM parameters for you as part of this discount code. So if I click here, you'll notice the QR code changed, right? Now, why did the QR code change? It's because if you look at this link now, look at all of the extra information that was added. It is adding those additional UTM parameters that you need to be able to track that somebody has clicked on those links. And so if we look at the URL here, I'll kind of hover over there, you can see it still has the 20% discount, but it adds the campaign. That's the campaign that's associated with the marketing campaign that we've created. And it shows that the source is that somebody clicked on one of those shareable links that were generated through the discount code system. So if you're using Shopify's marketing campaigns and Shopify's marketing emails, this is a really great way to be able to connect the UTM parameters to the QR code or to the link so you know that somebody has used it because of that. Now, if you're not familiar with that, if you've never used it before, or you're not using Shopify's marketing, some of this might not make a lot of sense. So I would say don't select anything from this list then, right? So you want to make sure you don't have anything. I guess they don't let you deselect it here. There you go. I just delete it. And you'll notice again, QR code has changed and the URL has changed. So if you're not using Shopify's marketing, don't do this because this is going to confuse your stats. The whole point of adding the UTM parameters is that if you're tracking things through maybe your GA4, your Google Analytics, you can tell, hey, did somebody use this code and did it come from one of these shareable links? And so that's what you want to do. So for most people, if you're not using the marketing campaigns, you're going to leave this to none. If you have any active campaigns, they're going to show up in this drop-down list, and you're definitely going to want to connect them because that's the attribution, and that's the whole game with marketing. That's how you do it. So again, it's really that simple. I'll just walk through it one more time real quickly, right? Any type of method that you have where you're using something that's a code, right? The automatic ones won't give you a QR code, only the ones where you're entering a code. Any of these ones, you can just click on any of them and you can go and get your shareable link from here. And then you can also attach it to a marketing campaign from there. And then take that link, take that QR code, add it to your campaigns. You can click here to actually get the discount code. You can click here to download and save the QR code so you've got it, and maybe you can print it out. Or if you're using Shopify's POS and you're familiar with how you can add QR codes, you could even potentially add this to the receipt printer. So when somebody buys something, you can add this discount code so they've got it on their receipt, and you can tell them, hey, save your receipt because this discount code is going to give you, 10% off your next visit or something. Who knows, right? You can come up with some kind of cool thing, some kind of cool idea for it. But this is how one great way how you could use this QR code as part of your grander kind of omni-channel system. Have it available in the emails and then put it as part of the receipt for your point of sale checkout. So that's really it. A really simple change, right? It's not something too crazy, but it's really useful, right? This is one of those things where sometimes it's the simple things that are very, very useful, and it all happens automatically. So if you want to start using the discount codes, all you need to do is just go to that code, as long as it's not an automatic type, click here to promote, click here to get a shareable link, and everything you're going to need to be able to share that discount code is going to be available here. So that's it for today. Pretty simple. Thanks for checking things out. We do have more Shopify OTs every week. You can always go to our site, go to our event page, and click on these open trainings. These are the free trainings that we do every Friday. So that's it for today's session. I want to thank you guys for joining us.